Okay.
YouTube, Nicole.
I really hope I don't mess it up.
Oh, well, I think
Hey,
we're
I'm
already
right there
live.
with you.
I don't even know how to
Great.
check it. I doubt anybody's even watching. Hold on, I'm gonna see if it's actually there. Hold on, I'm checking because this is how we roll. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. 5 people watching.
It's real?
Probably.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's
no.
my mom, Nikki's mom.
For sure.
I didn't tell anybody, so it's all on you.
Me either.
Yeah, and the 3 of us.
I didn't know.
Our first live stream. Welcome to Kettlebells and Cocktails, Zoe.
Thank you. Oh, I should have grabbed a cocktail.
Go get one. We got time.
No, I'm already like set up and comfy. It is what it is at this point.
I have one. You're welcome.
Just drink for the both of us.
I'm drinking for 2. All right. I told you I was going to I need to introduce you guys, and I'm going to try to pronounce your last name. So Nikki, meet Zoe.
Hello.
Zoe, meet Nikki. Zoe is one of my internet friends.
We were talking about doing more internet friend episodes, so this is perfect.
I know. Yeah. Well, all right. So I have so much fun with Zoe though, because we have so much in common. We love all the same nerdy shit. And she has this crazy crush on Henry Cavill we're going to get into at some point.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
A little bit.
I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying she has a restraining order. I'm just saying it's possible. It's really possible. That's all I'm saying.
I'm there with you. 100%.
Yeah.
All right. So Zoe's got one of these European names like my other co-host, Ben. And Jawalski. And so Ben's last name is a D and a Z, and it's pronounced as a J. I don't know what that's about. So I'm going to guess. All right, let me give you the spelling, Nikki, because you're the pro. Right? Nikki is the.
Okay, I'm listening.
The pro. SZCZEPANEK.
One more time.
SZCZEPANEK. Szczepanek. Was I close?
It sounds right.
That was pretty close.
What was it?
It's Szczepanek.
Szczepanek. Oh, it was so close.
So there's like that SZCZ, it's like a sh, and then the A, everyone
really
says
close.
Szczepanek, but Szczepanek. Yeah.
I was so close though.
In what language is SC?
It's Polish.
Polish.
Honestly, I don't even think that I pronounce it the right way. So, to be honest.
Here's the one thing
I think
I've
you
learned.
get to pick now that it's because it's your name. You can choose, and everyone else can just kind of like go with whatever you decided.
Here's the one thing Ben taught me: if the second letter in your last name is a Z, you're Polish. That's the way it works. That's it.
Yeah,
totally
true. To be how it is. Yeah.
That's awesome. So Zoe came on my radar, Nikki. She does work with Fit8, and obviously Aaron and the team at Fit8 are big friends. And so I started following, and she just does like the most clever stuff. And
I love it.
So I don't know. We just, she jokes about Marvel and Henry Cavill and all that shit, and it's just funny. So
and we send each other like inappropriate memes, but we find the humor in it. It's great. It's good.
Yeah. Well, and probably the best part.
I feel like people don't know that John has like a meme filter. People don't know. Like John comes up with all sorts of inappropriate memes that he does not post. So it's important for him to have people to bounce inappropriate memes off of. So I feel like that's a very sacred role, if you will.
Well, so let's start like the real conversation, because I want Zoe to talk about this. So most recently, here's my favorite thing she does. So she gets, like many women on the internet, so many inappropriate DMs from dudes, or just straight up rude comments. And it's what she's been doing recently. And Zoe, you got to talk about this. So she takes their rude comments and then she just zooms in on their face, and they're always like, they're always like the weirdest looking dudes making the most horrible comments.
You're sharing secrets. That's on my close story.
My close friends. Oh, close friends.
Well, I didn't say who the guys were. Come on.
That's true. But like on my close friends list, the new thing now is instead of like trying to do a clap back or trying to just do anything of what they said, I just show a screenshot of the comment and then a zoomed in picture of what they look like. And it's just like silence. And that's it. I just leave it at that.
And it's always like, it's always the dudes that look like they live in their mom's tater cellar.
Uh-huh.
Always.
Yep.
Saying things like, She needs to lose 5 pounds. I wouldn't date her. And then meanwhile, this dude's like
Truly.
100 pounds overweight and looks like he hasn't lifted a weight since he was in high school, if that, you know.
Truly.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. And then they come at me from all angles. Like it's either I work out too much or, oh my goodness, I'm scared of snakes. How dare I be scared of these like horrible creatures? And they just like attack me for that. So it doesn't matter what I talk about. It's,
Yeah. No, I think that is the life of a female online. That's just it. It doesn't matter what you say or what you talk about. You're not pleasing someone somewhere that you were never
Right.
intending to please to begin with. And so how dare you? I got one the other day. I tagged you in this comment, John, because I was like, really? This is where we're at right now? I had one the other day because I posted a video of me doing bar muscle ups, which is a really big deal because I haven't been able to do them since before I got pregnant. And so that was like a big win for me, being the baby just turned nine months old. And it's kind of like a milestone, 9 months in my belly, 9 months out of my belly, got a bar muscle up, felt pretty good about it. And someone commented and was like making fun of me for being like, oh, I'm 9 months postpartum. And he wrote something along the lines of like, my mom is 300 months postpartum. And she finally did like one basic human thing. And let's all celebrate her because she had a baby. We get it. You had a baby. Yay. And I was like, I was literally like, bro, like you follow me. Like you know what content this is. Like just unfollow me. If you're not into it, just like.
To be fair, Nikki, my mom is like 150 months postpartum and she can't do a muscle up at all. She's just lazy.
I'm not postpartum at all and I can't do a muscle up. So
I was just like, it like floored me. I was like, someone really took the time out of his day to like come to my page where he clearly knows what the content is about and like shit on the content. Like just smash that unfollow button, bro.
It's my favorite when you go to their page and it says like they're following you. You're like, but you follow me though?
But like, why? Just go away.
Yeah.
Like nobody wanted you here. You didn't want to be here. I didn't want you to be here.
Yeah.
Unnecessary for you to be
I'm
here.
like, I will do you a favor and I will remove you or I will block you. There we go.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah.
So Zoe, you've got you have a pretty big following on TikTok, right?
It's getting there. It's kind of all over the place. Like a couple like how TikTok is. You never know what videos are gonna go viral.
Yeah.
And then sometimes like the wrong ones go viral, and then you just bring in the audience that you don't really want. So my following is kind of all over the place. Like I appreciate a lot of them, but there's some that are there that I don't want them to be there, if that makes sense.
Can you give me an example? Give me an example.
Let's see. I had one video go pretty viral where I was putting on deodorant on the inside of my thighs because it's chafing season. So I made them like, don't stop chafing your dreams, you know?
Enough said. Now I know who the followers are.
This was in 2020. So this is when TikTok was just getting popular. And the algorithm was kind of just way off. So it was popular in the US, but then the algorithm sent it to Russia and sent it to Germany and sent it to all of these other countries. And because my subtitles on the video were in English and you couldn't translate them, no one knew what I was doing. So just imagine like the kind of comments I was getting in from a woman putting something on the inside of her thighs. And then those followers just started coming in. Let's see. It all depends. It all depends.
But the one thing I love that you do with TikTok though is you what's the right word? I was gonna say you instigate, maybe it's the right word. You troll the trolls.
Yeah.
Meaning like you create posts designed to piss off these guys, and man, do they take the bait.
Yeah, and not only on TikTok, on Instagram, you know, if they have the Reels bonus now. So if you post Reels and if you're in that creator area.
Yes, I just got this. I just got this a couple weeks ago and I was like, okay, I'm listening.
I got that a couple months ago and I was kind of inspired to just post a couple of videos that might maybe piss some men off and get me some traction and make me some money, which I did do. But then in the process, I just got like a lot of comments from it, but I got paid for it. So
what was the video?
And this is the thing, this is the video. It was, I was redoing one that I did last year, but it was just a video of a girl walking in a gym and an old man, an older gentleman, just staring at women in the gym. Didn't say anything about him being creepy. It was just a video of an older man staring at a woman in the gym, and that just angered a lot of people, apparently.
Well, the best is like people coming in, because then it becomes about the victim blaming. That
Oh,
was
ain't
the part that was
truth?
interesting to me. It's always the dudes going, well, you shouldn't wear those yoga pants, or
And
you
that was
shouldn't
that
wear the
was
sports bra,
well,
or
look at what you're
you know,
wearing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I
Mhm.
don't know where to start with those people, truly. I don't think you can fix that kind of stupid. Yeah, I
Well,
just give it up.
a lot that started coming in where I don't understand why women wear such tight spandex pants. Like, can't be comfortable to work out in. That's why they invented them.
Truly.
Like, I don't know what they're trying to do with that argument, but I'm like, that was the whole reason why those were invented.
It is
I don't know.
it is a weird thing. As a dude, I mean, I'm gonna speak honest. As a dude, it's hard to not stare sometimes. Like, you got to be a decent bro. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
You just have to
because
be a
there are,
decent
You just
person.
have to be
yeah,
decent.
like,
And I mean, it goes both ways. Like, I'll see guys at the gym that like I'll find attractive. Do I just stare at them the whole time?
if
No,
it's
I'm
Henry
respect.
Cavill,
If he was there, I mean, that's when the
I
restraining order
mean,
would
okay,
happen.
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
maybe then. But
Yeah, maybe then, maybe
other
then.
dudes, you don't stare as much.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
just
thing.
it's kind of like that thing where you just like do a look and then you go back to your own business. You don't
Yeah,
like
you
creepily
do like the the corner of the eye look, or you like
yes.
try to look at the thing that's like behind them, and you're like, that
The,
machine is the one that
or
I'm
the
gonna
trick
go to
is you look
next.
at the mirror in front of them.
Uh-huh.
There you
So
go.
then they don't know you're looking at them, but you look at the mirror and yeah, that's
Hey,
the trick.
Right,
Yeah.
here's my
right.
thought on it. I don't think there's anything rude of looking at someone who's fit and they look good and appreciating that they look good. I mean, look, I work hard in the gym.
Hell
I'm not
yeah.
trying to be humble here. Like, I work my ass off to try to look good, and I don't fucking look good, but I try, right? And if someone looked at me and went, "Oh, he looks good," I'd be like, "Thank you. Thank you for staring at me creepily, just for a minute. But if you do it too long, it's going to be weird. Don't do it too long."
So
Right? Like,
yeah, I think here's my thing. As someone who's been on the like receiving end of the objectification, I do my best to objectify as many men as possible because I feel like it tips the scales better in the right direction.
perfect.
But I
I
just
agree.
feel like a healthy respect for like if I was in the gym and a dude came up to me and was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know you look real fit. Good job." And like walked away, I would not be like, what the fuck can
No.
you believe? That is not a
Right.
problem. If someone is
It's
like, hey, I appreciate your gains. You're doing a great job. Or like, girl, I like your outfit. Cool.
yeah.
Sweet. Thank you. Thank you for being a normal human who
Yes.
communicates. And I don't have a
Yes.
problem with you.
Ain't,
If
ain't
you're
no
like
girl,
Yeah.
beady-eyed
ain't no dude
at
gonna
me.
say, "Girl, I like your outfit." No dude's gonna say that.
Well, I'm opening it up to like the non-sexualized comments as well. Just
Yeah.
saying.
And that
But if
happened. Yeah, that happened a
yeah,
couple days ago, and some guy was like, "Hey, what? Like, how many sets do you have left?" I'm like, "I just have 2." He's like, "Okay, cool, thank you." And he comes right back and he goes like, "Hey, gym bro to gym bro," and that's how he said it. And I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Your back looks amazing," and I was like, "Thank you." He's like,
thank
"That's all I wanted to
you.
say," and then he walks away.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
thank you.
It's that simple. It's that
No,
simple.
true. And I also
Yeah.
feel like, and this might be a little bit more controversial, so potentially unpopular opinion, but I also
There you
feel
go.
like if you're like at the gym and you're like, wow, that person over there is really attractive, I would like to get to know them. Like some people are like, please do not approach me at the gym. That's inappropriate. And I get that. But I also feel like if someone were to like in an appropriate way, be like, hey, can I get your number? I would be like, no, but that wasn't, you did not offend me by like asking in a very normal, appropriate way. You would offend me way more by like staring at me from the other side of the gym.
So,
Just throwing that out there too.
so how do you know someone doesn't want to be approached? Zoe, give it up. You're the single one in this group. I mean, we're both single, but
Well,
you're the one getting approached, not me.
I have this thing called a resting bitch face. So I
Mm,
look very unapproachable.
Show it
So
to us. Show it
with
to us.
I because I'm talking right now, I'm not resting, but and I can't
Uh,
control it.
or-
But it's just I don't look
uh,
approachable, and I've been told that very many like a lot. So I don't get approached at the gym that much, which is great. It works in my favor. So in like public and in social setting, it like does not help me at all.
See, I think headphones is the rule. If they have headphones in, don't talk to them.
And there's that
Fair.
too. There's
Totally.
that too. Do not make me take my headphones out. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
airport move because I don't like to be talked to in the airport. And now that we're not wearing masks anymore, headphones in, baby. Walk into the airport. Don't talk. Headphones in. Don't talk to me.
Oh yeah, even if nothing's playing, they're in.
Yeah.
Can I address that for a second? Because I wish that we always and forever kept masks on the plane. I don't want anyone else's disgusting germs. And like, I know that ever since the pandemic started, everyone's been saying that like, oh, plane air is actually like well recycled and like they're doing better to like, no, that's bullshit. Like
Nope.
2 rows in front of me, that dude just burped. And then the row in front of me, that dude just farted. And now I'm inhaling all that air. Like there's no way that it's not as disgusting as it's always been.
You're sitting so close to people that they're right
I don't like
here.
it.
They're
I don't
right
like
here,
it.
and I don't like it either.
So I just flew to Salt Lake City. It was the first week that masks were done. And I'm going to be the dissenting opinion because I was rolling large in first class and it was fucking awesome.
Ooh, okay.
And I was not wearing a mask
Humble
and they were
brag,
bringing me
humble brag.
mimosas and I'm like, this is great. And I could do this forever. So
Okay.
I don't disagree that if there's, if I deem the guy next to me weird, I want him to put a mask on. But if I'm in first class and they're serving me mimosas, I'm free facing it. That's my new term,
Okay.
free facing.
Free facing it. I just feel like the picture on the front of the airborne box is literally people on a plane. Like the picture on the front of the thing that you buy to not get sick because you always get sick when you get on a plane. Like it's just, I wish we would all mask up on planes forever because people are gross and I don't want to be near them. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm right there with you. I mean, at this point, people can do whatever they want, but I wish that the person, at least like the person in front of me and next to me, had masks on. That would just be nice.
Here's what I will tell you that was nice, because this is not. I mean, none of this is a political statement. People were really polite. The people that were wearing masks, no one seemed to care. The people that weren't, no one seemed to care. It was your personal choice, and I'm like, that's really cool. Like I was choosing to not wear one. The woman next to me was wearing one. I didn't care. She didn't care. And I thought for a minute, like I wondered, is she going to lean over and ask me to put a mask on? She never did. She didn't look at me sideways. She didn't care. The flight attendants were nice. The pilots came on and they had an announcement and they were like, hey, if you want to wear one, cool. If you don't, oh, so cool. Do what you want to do. Just be nice to everybody. And everybody was nice to everyone. And I think it's because we spent the last 2 years giving the finger to each other that all of a sudden we're like, hey, we can make our own choice. All right, that's pretty awesome. And it was. Yeah. It was good.
I did not have that experience.
No, what was your experience?
What happened to you?
I flew the day after they lifted the mask mandate, and I was flying home to see my family. And germs, airports, airplanes, I still wore a mask because I'm like, I just wanted to. But because I was flying to Northern California, where it's a little bit different than Southern California, I got judged hard. I was like one of 3 people on the entire flight that had a mask, and just each person that looked at me, a couple of the flight attendants even looked at me, and I was just like, cool. Cool.
Right.
Did anybody say anything?
No, it was with their eyeballs. And then as soon as
that's enough.
As soon as I landed in a very small rural airport, me being one of the few people walking around with the mask, all the eyeballs were on me, and I'm just like,
all right. So I don't know enough about California to be smart on this, but I'm assuming from what you're telling me that Northern California is maybe more conservative than Southern California. Is that the deal, or like what's the deal? Give me the dirt.
Yeah, it is. I mean, not all of Northern California, and then of course, depending on who you talk to and how they break up California has different borders of Northern and Southern California, but I'm from the real Northern California, which I consider above Sacramento, and up there it is a little bit more conservative. But it's also a small town. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I never think of California being small town. Like those of us that live in the Midwest, when I think of California, I think of Los Angeles and San Francisco and San Diego. I think of these big cities where you get people everywhere in the traffic. It takes 2 hours to get 10 minutes. I never think of California being these, tiny little Western towns,
Yeah. Well, the town that I grew up in has about less than 800 people. That's where I grew up. So tiny.
Yeah, we have spent a little bit of time in Northern California, kind of like in the woods. And my husband is from northern Maine, and it's kind of the same thing. It's like totally the same. We didn't know that it was like that until we were like spending time with friends, like kind of like above like wine country. I don't know California all that well either, but it felt very much like northern Maine to us. It felt like home to him, where it was like farmland and woods and like super conservative old folks. Totally felt like northern Maine in that sense.
Yeah. I mean, still great, nice people. It's just Northern California is very different from Southern California. Yeah.
Totally.
So how did you get hooked up with the Fit Aid people?
So I used to do obstacle course racing, and Fit Aid was the sponsor of Spartan, so I'd always see them at races. And one of my friends was like the event director for Fit Aid, so I started working for the booths for them. So I was one of their booth girls. And then eventually became one of their athletes because I just worked for them so much and went to all these events with them and knew Aaron and Orion and just kind of evolved. So.
How long did you do obstacle course racing?
So I started in 2013, 2014, like that time period. And then messed up my hip in 2014 and then still tried to race on it for a good, I don't know, almost a year or so, which was just not a good decision. And then I've been having surgeries ever since. So pretty much retired from obstacle course racing, like for sure, like 2 years ago.
I really love what you've done with that journey, though. I mean, I know it's been incredibly tough on you. And Nikki, I don't know if you are familiar with it at all, but she's done this, it feels like a couple of years, like since we've been following each other.
7 years.
Yeah. Well, the couple that I've been aware of it, where she's been posting this journey about her hip surgeries, and it's not only really interesting, but it's very emotional. Like as like you start to get to know people through the internet, and you start, I'm not saying I feel your pain, because don't get me wrong. It's just like you start to like sympathize and like you start to root for people, and you see when things are going well and when they're not, and it's really, really intriguing and interesting. I don't even know where the question is and all that, other than like, as you're posting this stuff, are you doing it for you? Are you doing it to help others? Is it like self-therapy? Like, what is it?
I think all of the above. I just, when I first injured my hip, I couldn't find information about it anywhere. Like I didn't know anyone who tore their labrum. Like I couldn't find anyone that posted about it or shared about it. And since I was so heavily involved in obstacle course racing, like everyone just kept asking, like, why aren't you racing? Why aren't you racing? And so eventually I just had to keep like telling everyone, well, this is my injury. Let me, tell you about my injury. And I didn't intend for it to be this huge saga. I thought, of course, one surgery was going to fix it and I was going to return to normal in a few months, just like how a lot of people are. But it turned into this 7-year-long, 5 surgery, just nightmare. So I just kind of documented the whole thing. And I've met a lot of great people that also have hip issues that hopefully I've been able to help. They've been able to help me. It's also therapeutic, just, kind of just all of the above.
Is there and I know that it's probably a loaded question, but is there kind of like a top line or short version on why it didn't work out the way you thought it would? Why it wasn't just like a one and done type, fix my hip and I can get back to racing?
Let's see if I can do like the Cliff Notes version. So essentially I just hurt my hip running. That's a whole different story, but I hurt my hip running, and then I went to a doctor and they're like, oh, you have a labral tear and it looks like you have a hip impingement. So they're like, quick fix, we'll just repair your labrum, kind of shave down the femoral head that fits into your hip socket, so just you're not having as much of an impingement, then you should be good. And a couple months after that surgery, it just didn't feel right. So I had moved at the time, and I went and saw a new surgeon, got new scans. They're like, oh, well, your labrum is torn again. And I'm like, from what? And they're like, we don't know, but it tore again. So went in for another surgery where they repaired it again, tried to fix the impingement even further because they thought that that's maybe what the issue was. A couple months down the road, still wasn't really healing. And then I went to another doctor, another scan, said my labrum tore again. And they're just like, we don't know why this is happening. So they were like, you need to see one of 3 big hip specialists in the country. Closest one's Colorado. Send all my scans. He thinks he knows how he's going to fix it. I'm all set to go to Colorado. Had some changes with my insurance, and my insurance no longer would let me go out of state because I live in California. And then I fought with them for a year, had to change insurance, had to start the process over again, wasn't allowed to go to Colorado. And some surgeon in LA looked at my scans and he's like, this shouldn't be right. Your labrum shouldn't be tearing after they've done all this work. Why no other surgeon did a CT scan, I don't know. But after they did a CT scan, they saw that I had a version of hip dysplasia that you can't see on x-rays and you can't see on MRI. So it's called acetabular retroversion. So I had to have a very, very major surgery to fix that. So, but it's good now.
Oh, it is good now. Now now the saga is complete. Yay!
Yeah, hopefully. It's doing really great now. They gave me a new labrum. They pretty much cut my pelvis into 3 places and re-rotated it and screwed it back together. And then I had to get those screws out. And then I grew a bone hook. It's a long story, but yeah, I should be good now.
Wow. So it's like, first of all, it's from your perspective, I'm sure you're like, this is horse shit. Why didn't someone just figure out, like, this is what you guys do. This is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to figure out what's wrong with me and then fix me. But turns out you had like the rarest, like anyone who saw your scan was probably like, yeah, torn labrum. Let's fix it. No big deal. Like
all of them, quick look, easy fix. We'll get, no worries. And it took I think it was the 5th surgeon that I finally saw that he's like, I mean, there's a reason why it keeps tearing. We should probably look into that a little bit further. And there you go.
Wow, what a nightmare! I'm so glad that you're on the back end of that. You know.
Yeah, me too. Thank you. But yeah, obstacle course racing, retired, not doing that.
Cool. Still like training, still like in the gym.
Oh yeah,
still whatever fitnessing.
Yeah. I'm terrified to go running. I've been cleared by multiple doctors to start running. I'm just like terrified to just get back into that. I don't do as much CrossFit anymore just because I'm too competitive. The weights are too heavy. Like I'm going to hurt something, and I've been injured for way too long. So, yeah.
Well, listen to
you know yourself.
You got to not do that. Good.
True. John's a specialist.
Yeah, I'll teach you how to cherry pick workouts like a pro. It's great.
Oh yeah, I do that for sure. Like someone has to send me the workout first, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Not do that.
I do love though you post a lot of outdoor stuff, particularly how you mentioned the fear of snakes, and Nikki, she does this because she's out hiking in the mountains in California.
Amazing.
And I don't know if you know this, but there's a lot of freaking snakes in California. How many snakes do you see on these hikes?
I see more than the average person, and I think I'm just a snake magnet at this point. Like, they know that I hate them, and they do it out of spite. They just like come out because they know I'm on the trail.
Which is worse for you, snakes or spiders?
Snakes,
definitely.
For sure. Snakes.
So I'm the opposite. I totally don't mind snakes. I mean, I don't want them to bite me, and I don't want them to be poisonous. We don't really have like poisonous snakes in New England.
Okay.
Not really. It's usually just like garden snakes and bullshit when you're out hiking.
Yeah.
But like I'm the same with spiders. Like they know I'm there, and I will find them. I have like the sense, the tingle, if you will.
Yeah. I'm the same. Like spiders, I don't like spiders. Like they still creep me out, but I can like kind of pick one up and put it outside.
No.
Do whatever I need to do. But snakes,
no.
I get like physically nauseous just seeing one.
No, just burn the house down.
That's me.
If you have a snake, come on.
Yeah, it's become, that's actually, I mean, it's funny, but it's also making a lot of good content for me, like the whole snake fear thing. So in the end, like I get it's content. So
okay, let me ask you a question, because my best friend Whitney has a fear of snakes. How do you feel about worms?
Worms don't bother. I mean, they still kind of gross me out, but they don't bother me as much. Eels, because you can see the head and the body. It's like similar. Those creep me out.
She can't do snakes or worms. She can't do anything that has that like wiggly shape. I guess I've never asked her about eels. I'll have to ask.
For me, it's something with the head. Like if I make eye contact with them, like they peer into my soul, and they're just like telling me that they want to kill me, and I no.
Oh God.
The problem with snakes is like, everyone's like, all right, well, if their head is shaped like this, they're non-poisonous, and they're shaped like this, they're poisonous. I'm like, fuck that, they all look poisonous. Like, I don't have time to look to see how they're shaped. Like, they just all look like assholes to me, all of them.
Well, 'cause they are.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with that. No,
that's fair.
I grew up in the deep south, and there were a lot of poisonous snakes, copperheads, rattlesnakes. They were everywhere. Like, No, I don't want anything to do with that. Or at
Nope.
least with rattlesnakes, you know they're poisonous because they get the rattle.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, at least they warn you. It's the
Yeah.
ones that don't have the rattle that are the real jerks. Screw those guys.
Yeah, and it's just out here we have gopher snakes too that have kind of a similar pattern as rattlesnakes. So if you're kind of far away and you can't really see the rattle at first, then you're just kind of like, oh, which one is it? Which one is it? Because it's just they look so similar. But I hate snakes so much.
Yeah, I think I would feel differently if there were any ones around here that really posed a threat. So I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I feel like. Meanwhile, spiders pose zero threat around here too, and I still would burn the fucking house down. I can't.
I mean, I don't blame you. We don't really need them. Like, it's just
No. I mean, I guess the sad part is we really do need them.
I know. Yeah, I mean, it's true. But
all right, let's shift the conversation. I want to hear about your unhealthy love of Henry Cavill. How did this come about?
Wait, is that a real question? How did it come about?
Yeah,
he existed and women everywhere melted. That's how it came about.
No,
her love for Henry is different than your love for Henry.
So I watched him when he was like just a little wee lad, and I saw this like really young actor on screen in this movie that I didn't even really like, and I was like, who is that? And then it's just a couple years later, I saw him in a movie called Tristan and Isolde. I'm like, hey, that's that same guy. And then I saw him later in the show, The Tudors, and I'm just like full obsession now.
Oh my God.
And it's been a love story ever since. Yeah.
We're also, I think Matt and I are both equally as obsessed with him in this house. Me, because he's just like a beautiful soul of a human man.
So beautiful. Yeah.
And then Matt, because he like wants to be his buddy and also wants to be his like gym bro. Because he's like actually legitimately cool dude. What is your favorite role that he's played?
I was thinking about this the other day when I was on a hike, of course, because when I'm hiking, I'm thinking of Henry Cavill, like obviously.
Of course.
Duh.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I love him in Superman because I just think he's the perfect Superman. Yeah. And when he was casted as Superman, I was just like, yes, like I fully agree with this. And so I hate to say that is my favorite one. Because he's so pretty in it too.
Yes,
he's so nice to look at.
That's true.
He was great in Superman.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, until they did the Snyder cut, what was the movie? Justice League was just a big hot mess.
Yeah,
it was a dumpster
Thank God
fire.
Snyder fixed it and like
Truly.
redeemed him.
I mean, it was unfortunate why Snyder had to drop out and why Joss Whedon had to come in, and the whole thing was unfortunate, and that's why it became such like a dumpster fire. But I'm glad that they were able to give him the creative freedom to like make the Snyder cut.
Totally. Yeah.
I think Bean looks better in this lighting. I think he looks awesome in this lighting.
I think he looks more pissed off. He's more pissed off than usual in that lighting.
Look at him. He doesn't like this desk because I don't let him sit on it.
Oh,
and so
he's pissed.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to tell me.
I will throw in there that I think my favorite Henry Cavill role is The Witcher. Truly.
That's pretty good.
I think he's great in it. I just don't love the show. I didn't read the books. I think there's a game too. I wasn't super into that. So like I don't love the show, but I do love him in it. So
we love that in this house. We're like big fantasy nerds fully. So I thought it was probably my favorite, right next to, what was the movie he was in where he was like the American spy and he was like teaming up with a Russian spy?
Oh, The Man from Uncle.
The Man from Uncle. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I actually loved him in that too. That was a great movie.
Mission Impossible Fallout with the stash. That stash just does something. Like it's
what?
I approve of it.
No.
Oh, you like the stash?
No, you can't put a
stash. I like the stash
on a beautiful man like that.
Loads up his arms in that bathroom scene. Yeah.
You're gonna have dudes all over the country now growing stashes just because you're in love with them. Seriously, come on. Nobody loves the stash.
I loved the stash on him. I don't know.
No.
No.
I feel like I've lost respect for you now. What the hell? Well, all right. So who's your number two then? So Henry's taken, right?
Henry has a girlfriend, sadly. Yeah.
Girlfriend.
My number two is I have like my number two, number three kind of switch off just depending on like I guess what movies are coming out or what, you know.
They're fighting for their spots on the podium.
Yeah,
constantly.
they are. Like they as they should be. Chris Evans and Taylor Kitsch, they switch off between 2 and 3.
Okay.
Oh, Chris Evans. I love Chris Evans.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Chris Evans. I think, like, from what, I mean, honestly, from what you can tell from, like, media and stuff, he seems like just a genuinely nice person.
Yeah.
He's really nice to look at, too. I just remember watching him in Not Another Teen Movie, like, years ago, and I was like, this guy's
Oh my
cute.
God, yes.
And his career just, like, took off, but I love him. And then Taylor Kitsch, I love Taylor Kitsch. Yeah.
Wait, which one's Taylor Kitsch? I don't think I know who that is.
He was in the show Friday Night Lights, so he played like Tim Riggins in Friday Night Lights. He plays Murph in Lone Survivor.
Yes, I know exactly who that is. He's a good dude.
I think you have a type. I think you have this like chiseled like.
Garrett Hudlin was in my top 5 too. They all just chiseled jawline, light eyes, tall with a broad chest. So it's like that's can't help it. Yeah. Do you guys want to hear a really embarrassing story of what I did with Taylor Kitsch?
I
always
do. Yeah, bring it on.
It was there were drugs involved, so let's just start with that.
Okay.
Of course, I've had a crush on him since high school because he's been around for a while in movies and stuff, and I just came home from the hospital from like that major surgery, and I was on all of the drugs. Like they gave me everything to go home with, so I didn't even know like what world I was in, like what year it was, like don't know how my brain was firing, I don't know. But he did this thing where he had like this book giveaway. I'm so embarrassed that I'm sharing this, but whatever. He had this book giveaway on Instagram. It was pretty much like he had all these John Carter books, and he's like, hey, if anyone wants a signed John Carter book, just like DM me. Tell me why you'd want one, and like maybe I'll send you one, kind of thing. And I looked at that as my opportunity to just like shoot my shot. And I wrote this man a novel, like a novel.
No.
I talked about all of the movies that I hated him in, and how they were like really bad, and how Hollywood made him like the scapegoat, and
oh
and,
my
like,
God.
It wasn't his fault, but it was Hollywood's fault that these movies did so poorly. And then I talked about like all the movies that I did like him in, and then I talked to him about how I just had hip surgery and I was on a bunch of drugs, and I was talking about how my ex like met him one time, and my ex told me about it after, and I'm like, why didn't you like FaceTime me when you were with him? And I like never forgave my ex for that, and just like this really long message. And at the very end, like I sent my address, and I was like, hopefully you read this because I'll take one of those books. Bye.
Nice.
Did he send one?
No. It never said seen.
She's like,
so
oddly,
I'm
no.
pretty sure
Oddly,
it went
no.
to the request folder. He saw it, but he never like approved the message. And how I'm not blocked, I don't know. And to be quite honest, I totally forgot I even wrote that message for like weeks. And then he like, I don't know, posted some story about something. And like I go to like the messages because, you know, I was like, oh, maybe I'll just send her a little reaction. And I see this really long message, and I'm like, what is this?
Oh my God, I love it.
What did I do? Oh my!
But no, I never got a book.
Well, he sounds like an asshole for not sending you
And
a
then
book
I
after all
unsent
that.
the message. I got rid of the evidence.
You did.
Oh, come on. The longer the message, the more of the stalker you are. There's no way the guy didn't like, there's no way he read it. He looked at it and went, oh my God, it's like 3 paragraphs.
You know, in my defense, it was actually really witty, and it was really funny, and there were 0 grammatical errors. So, you know.
Yeah, that's what guys look for, Zoe. Grammatical errors. That's the first thing I go to. How many
That's what
grammatical errors are in this thing?
That's what I look for.
None.
No, I truly do look for it. Like, if I get like messages with grammatical errors, I judge hard.
Same.
Truly.
Yeah, of course you do. Dudes do not. That is not where we start.
No.
That is not where we start. We look, first of all, it's all about how long is this message? And when it's as long as Zoe's messaging, we're going, all right, stage 5 clinger.
Yeah, I don't know how I wasn't blocked. I don't know.
He was just being kind. He has you restricted.
You know what? Maybe he got he got a laugh out of it, which, you know, whatever, you know.
I wish you hadn't unsent it.
I know, but I panicked and I was like, I don't need this evidence just sitting here. Like I need to get rid of it. I need to get rid of it. I mean, I took screenshots of it, so I have it forever. But
Smart.
and I'm sure maybe he did too. You know, we don't know. But yeah.
We'll never know. Yeah.
We'll never know.
Here's a random question. Who's the most famous person you've ever met? You go first, Zoe, then we're going to Nikki.
I don't think I've ever met anyone real famous.
There's no way that's true.
Like when I lived in San Diego, I went to a bunch of like the parties after Comic-Con, and I met some actors there, but I'm trying to like think of like the most. I like met Ron Perlman, who was a lot shorter than I thought he'd be.
Very cool.
Really? Hellboy
he's really
was short.
Nice. Yeah, but I was also in heels, and I'm 5'8" without heels, so I was fairly tall. But he was actually shorter than I thought. I met, which was random by the way, the author for Game of Thrones. So George R. R. Martin.
Yes,
was at this Playboy party, and I met him. He was very nice.
Very cool.
Nice.
Really random. He was really nice. I met. Before his big scandal came out, I met Cuba Gooding Jr. and he was actually super nice. But then that whole thing came out, and it makes sense because his cousin invited me to go out to the clubs with them, and then I was like, "Isn't Cuba married?" And it was a weird thing. I don't know. I've seen people, like I've seen famous people, but I haven't like met them. Does that count?
That counts. Like if you're in the same room.
Well, yeah, I was at a grocery store and I saw, in one day, I was so excited. In one day in Malibu, I was at this grocery store and I was looking at kombucha and I hear this very distinct laugh and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I look to my left and it's Seth Rogen.
Of course. Probably high. That's awesome.
I think so.
Yeah, of course.
And then same day, because I remember walking into the store and I remember seeing this really petite brunette girl with a baby on her chest. And I was like, gosh, she's like gorgeous. I wonder, and that's all I thought. Came back out and then I noticed Brian Austin Green coming through. So that was when it was him and Megan Fox. And I was like, oh. And then Sam Elliott, I saw him the same day.
I love him.
Wow.
It was
what a busy day in LA.
And it was raining in Malibu. Everyone decided to go grocery shopping, I guess. But that was like one of the best days ever. I was so excited.
That's cool.
All right, Nikki, what about you?
I honestly, I think that it's one thing when you live in California and like people are just like abound always. I did one of the cool things I did when I was like in my old life as a TV news reporter is I was covering like this big venue that they had built in the town that we were living in for music and concerts, especially in the summertime. So I did get to meet Jason Mraz once when he was coming into town to put on a concert, and we were like got to go to sound check and get footage and like interview him about being in our little small town in Maine. That was cool. I had to think really like deep into my memory palace to find that. I have not met a lot of famous people. Yeah, outside of like, I think there's plenty of people who would think that like meeting Matt Fraser a million times and shoving a microphone in his face is like quite famous. I feel like of all, like I wouldn't throw just any CrossFit athlete on the like famous list. Yeah. But I would put him up there.
I would put Matt up there too. I've never met him, but I would put Matt up there.
Yeah. I've got his cell phone number. He's no longer famous. That's the rule. If I have your cell phone number, you're not really famous.
You're no longer famous. Yeah. Got it. Good to know.
You need to be snobby enough to not give it to me. That should be the rule.
Oh, I didn't think I thought of another one. Who is actually the nicest person in person. His skin is absolutely flawless. I have to add this too. Mario Lopez.
Oh my God. How is that not the first thing out of your mouth? Girl.
I don't, and he was so nice. He was so nice. Yeah. And then he and I follow each other on Instagram, and we're still trying to like plan like a workout because I'm super into fitness, but I keep like breaking my hip, But nicest guy ever. Yeah.
10 out of 10 would work out with him. 100%.
10 out of 10 would work out with him. Yeah. And face in real life, flawless.
You've never worked out with him?
He does not age. Huh?
Never worked out with him?
Not yet. Like I keep being injured, and then COVID happened and everything shut down. And
look, you got to limp over there and work out with Mario. Come on.
That's like once in a lifetime.
That's Slater, right? Wasn't that his name on Saved by the Bell?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, come on, go work out with Slater. Let's get on there.
Yeah, but yeah, nicest guy.
Love him.
All right,
Love
my
him.
most famous ones. Before she was super famous, I ran into what's that Witherspoon? She was in Sweet Home Alabama.
Reese Witherspoon.
Yes, Reese
That's
Witherspoon.
huge. Yeah.
This was before that movie. She was young, like really. I was living in Nashville. I was working in a restaurant, and she came in. She'd just done like maybe her first or second movie, so people knew she was like on the fringe of being famous.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing her, and she was so cute and so young, and she looked then just like she does now. Like she hasn't aged in 20 years, 25 years. The fun one though, I ran into Sylvester Stallone. And this is so random. We were in Toronto. I was married. This is how long ago this was. Like,
Oh, wow.
this would have been, I don't even know if I had kids yet. So it would have been over 20 years ago. And we're in Toronto and he was filming a movie. And me and my father-in-law step into this elevator and there's Sly Stallone, all 5'10" of him. He's a little dude, and ripped. The dude is jacked, And I'm like kind of a, this is hard to believe, but I'm kind of an introvert. Like I don't talk to people and I certainly don't talk to famous people.
Yeah.
And my father-in-law is fearless. He will talk to anyone. He doesn't give a shit. And he's like, Sly, what's going on? And he's like, and just like you would expect him to, same kind of like Rocky persona. And he's like, are you in town filming a movie? He's like, yeah, I am, and they like started talking like normal people. I'm like, how is this happening? Like, how is this happening? Sly just talking to him like he's a normal dude,
Wow.
It was crazy.
I bet if you're famous and that happens to you, like someone just like talks to you kind of like, not like you're no big deal, but like you're a regular human. Yeah. I bet that's awesome. I bet they love that.
I bet they love that and they probably just appreciate that. Yeah.
Dude, it was so weird though. It's like, you see somebody like this is Rocky. Come on. Like, right. This like the pinnacle of fame, and you just walk in the elevator and there's Rocky. You're like, holy shit. Like, I don't get starstruck often, but it was a really weird moment.
Wait, that happened to me maybe like 3 years ago, but it was a really, really B-list celebrity. We were at the casino down in Connecticut. I think it was for my birthday. We like went down to a restaurant and they were having like Comic-Con there, but like the like B-list Connecticut version of Comic-Con. And we were like looking at the roster because we're big nerds and we were like, there's no one here we really want to see. So let's just like go to the restaurant. And we got in the elevator and there was Leo from Charmed. Do you remember? Do you remember? Really but he was like, he's like really old and he kind of like looks like maybe he got into some hard drugs at some point. And I was just like freaking out because I was like a huge fan when I was a tween.
Yeah.
And I know who he is and I know that he's there for the Comic-Con. And I was just in the corner of the elevator like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And Matt was looking at me like, are you okay? Are you sweating, Nikki? Like what's wrong with you? I think his name is Brian Krause. Does that sound right?
I have no idea. I was never
I have to Google it.
Hey, check this out. Look, AC Slater, James Gerbach tells us that's what his name was.
Yeah.
And all this new technology, now we can just start throwing shit up on the screen. It's great. Speaking of, can I show you something? You guys want to see something cool?
Yeah.
The people that are going to get this on the podcast aren't going to see this. Check this out. What do you think?
What?
Dude.
New merch.
I love those.
My God.
There's going to be
trademark
tanks.
Infringement pending.
Oh, don't call me out. Damn it, Nikki.
Can you describe
I don't want my
them?
second cease and desist in a week. Come on.
Like make them really quick so we can get them before you get that letter.
Oh, yeah. I got both of you hooked up. We're going to do these in black tees, black tanks, and then these in the tie-dye. You can get cropped and the sleeves off if you want.
Yes. Perfect. Yes. Perfect. You have to describe them for the people listening, John?
Yeah. So it's the new Make Wives Great Again logo. And it's totally original. It has not been copied by anyone at all.
Not at all.
It's not even
definitely
close.
not.
It's not close to any 80s TV show. Not even close. But I think people will like it. And they can see it on my page. So go look it up.
Cool.
There'll be a link in the bio. They're going to go on sale in a couple of days. Zoe, because you're a special guest, they're on the house. You tell me what you want. We'll get them to you. We'll hook you up. Nikki, you got to pay.
Okay, deal.
Okay. I'm kidding. We'll get them to you. I thought that was cool. And I'm enjoying showing off the new tech. We got all kind of cool stuff now.
I know. This is
really fancy.
fun. I know, right?
I know. I think we need to let the people know. So if you guys are listening to us on the podcast, we are now trying out this new live stream as we record thing. So give us a follow on the YouTube page so you can see when we pop on and do this. Usually it's in the evenings, like in the evenings midweek. Maybe we should come up with maybe we should be professional and make a schedule.
We have not discussed what this is going to look like at all, but
0%.
if I had to guess, what we will probably do is our joint shows will live stream as often as we can. Matter of fact, we have one coming up with Danny Spiegel's coming on to do movie reviews on Thursday.
We talked about it and we're coming through.
It's going to be so much fun.
I'm so excited.
I know.
Can I join? Like, I love movies.
You want
Hell
to do?
Yeah,
you
girl,
should
bring
join.
it on.
Yeah, you join.
Yes.
I'll send you an invite. I know we're absolutely going to talk about some Harry Potter movies and then a couple of like most recent stuff.
I mean,
so yes, I'll send you an invite. You're welcome to join. It'll be fun.
Just put it out there. Have you seen the new Doctor Strange yet?
No,
not yet.
Is it good?
I won't say
spoilers, but is it great?
I won't say anything.
Is it great?
It's not in my top tier of favorite Marvel films. It's not a bad film. Like, it's not Thor Dark World bad.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's not in my top favorites, but it's good.
What's your favorite Marvel movie?
Wait. Are you though a fan of Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange? Because I feel like that makes or breaks kind of. You either are or aren't.
So here's the thing. I wasn't originally, but I am after this movie. If that makes sense.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Good question, Nikki. Look at you being the pro.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a Cumberbatch, so I need to know.
Cumberbatch.
You know, that's a thing where like I feel like you either think he's like so interesting looking that he's like handsome and intriguing and appealing, or you think he looks like Sid from Ice Age. One or the other.
I think because I see both ways. I think it depends on what character he's in, but yeah, like I mean, I've liked him as Doctor Strange. I just after this movie, like I've really liked him as Doctor Strange.
Cool. Yes, I have a mild obsession with him that started with Sherlock, which I think is like the greatest character he's ever played.
That's such a good show.
So good, so good. Anyway, John, continue.
I have not seen Sherlock.
Come on! Oh, you gotta watch it.
Excellent.
I haven't gotten to you what I am watching right now, though.
Yes.
Right now, I'm rewatching Entourage, which I love.
I do.
Cool.
I do like that show. Yeah,
it was a good show.
The show is and it's actually even funnier in rewatch now that we've like kind of crossed through the Me Too movement and like bad behavior's been called out, because Ari Gold is so jarring in that role, and I love it. I am like so here for it.
Yeah. I suppose that did not age well, or actually did age great, because now you're
you watch things now, you're like, oh, that would not fly today.
Well, I think that's the point, though. It's like, you know, in those days, it was satire of what was really going on. Now, it's even beyond that. It's like, it's hey, I know this actually happened, and you can watch it in retrospect and go, still funny. It is still funny. It's just wildly inappropriate, you know?
Yeah.
It's just it's very interesting in concept. And it is interesting watching those old HBO shows in retrospect, because technology's come so far. Like a lot of the stuff going on in the show, they're still using pagers, and the internet wasn't a big thing yet, you know? So it's so different from where we are now. It's just amazing how far we've come in, 10, 15 years. It's
totally.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's great though. Mm-hmm. Now I feel like I got to watch Sherlock.
You do. Oh my God, you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do.
Well, am I going to become a Cumberbatch?
I hope so.
After that show, for sure.
I'm of the thought that he's like just a total stud. But I think I like really unique looking people. I think I'm attracted to like traits that make people stand out. I mean, like, throw me a classically handsome dude any day of the week, of course. But like really like
you're welcome.
Obviously.
Of course.
Chris Hemsworth is my like number one.
Same. We're like brothers.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm like his dad. I'm like his old drunk dad.
Okay, I have one for you though that for some reason I find him so attractive, and I don't know why, but I do.
Okay.
Woody Harrelson.
Wow.
No.
No. I don't know. I don't know.
I'll tell you who I saw this weekend or this week. That as a dude, I'm like, that dude's attractive. John Mayer.
Yes.
Yes.
Killed it.
Yes.
Best live concert I've seen in my life.
Wow.
Literally
Really?
just blown. It was great. So we went to Pittsburgh. My youngest daughter loves John Mayer. First time I saw him, ironically, it was like 23, 24 years ago, before Meg was born, when I was dating her mother. Right. Saw him on his first tour. Came through for Room for Squares.
Yeah.
And this time he's in Pittsburgh for his most recent tour. And so I got Megan with me, and place is full of 30 to 40-year-old white people just swaying in place. Nobody getting out of their seats. Everybody's got assigned seats, and we're loving it. There's no mosh pit. It's just good old-fashioned sob rock. It was awesome. And this dude is literally the greatest American guitar player of our age. It was unreal. Like I've never seen anything like it, as good as he was. And he's still young. He's like 40 years old, and he's got so much hair. I wanted to punch him in his balls. And just a good looking kid, and he's funny. Like,
he's so funny.
Yeah, who gets all this talent? It's just so unfair.
Did you ever watch his live shows that he used to do on, I think it was Instagram? He'd go like on live. He's so funny.
He's hysterical.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was so bad. But
maybe I'll add him to my list of, like my hall pass list. I'll just add him to my list.
Yeah, he was so good. So good. Hey, we have comments coming in. People making comments.
I know, this is so cool. I love it.
I know. They're not even here. I'm just going to place them. They're not even good comments. Took an advanced degree to get on here, but only 8 times watching. We need to pump those numbers up.
Well, it's our first time. In fairness, we did not even know if this was going to work. So it was like the test run. But clearly it's working for 8 people, probably 2 of which are our mothers.
I know. So. Hey, no, look, I appreciate people jumping in. Look, we're going to do more live shows and take actual questions. I just thought this would be fun, and I've been trying to get Zoe on for a while, and like we were supposed to have this golfer Scott Stallings on tonight, who is a really nice guy, and he's a CrossFitter. He's on the PGA Tour, and he had a travel issue that came up. So he messaged me. He's like, "Hey, I can't make it tonight." So I reached out to him. I'm like, "Hey, Zoe, what are you doing?" She's like, "I'm laying in bed, just hanging out." I'm like, "All right, well, now you're
on this podcast, girl."
Yeah, and then I'm like, it's not like on camera, right? He's like, "Oh no, it is." I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm not leaving my bed because I am comfortable here."
Totally fair. Totally fair.
Yeah, live stream to the whole world.
Well, hey, listen. So I'm traveling to semifinals next week, or like in like 10 days, whatever. I don't know when this is releasing. Yeah, like it's like coming up. It's like around the corner. And me and Matt and the baby are all packing up and heading to Tennessee for like 10 days because we're doing back-to-back weekends. I'll be at the Syndicate and at the MAC. And I just wanted to have a chance to say on the podcast that like I am deep in the throes of internet research when it comes to like traveling with a baby. So like if people have suggestions, recommendations, like please send them my way, because I am like totally panicking about being like first time mom traveling. And like I did not know until 2 days ago what a stroller bag was. Did not know that I needed one to gate check the stroller. Like there's so many things you just don't know. And I'm like currently trying to figure out like, how do I travel with frozen breast milk? It's just like a whole, this is deep web. Okay. This is some deep web mom shit. So
I got 2 kids. You didn't even bother to ask me. I'm gonna give you all the tips.
Do you remember about traveling with an infant?
Yeah, Benadryl. Drug those bitches. That's what you do.
Totally. That's a great idea, actually.
Bourbon. You're gonna be in Tennessee. There's bourbon everywhere. Just saying, like a little on the gums, they go right to sleep. It's perfect. This is not sound advice. No one do this. This is not sound
grade A parenting, John. But no, we will be flying. So I feel like this podcast is just like my best friends that always give me the best advice. So if you guys have any ideas, recommendations, tips, or like, please don't forget this, or like, this is how you travel with milk, like all that stuff, I'm totally open to it. Please send it my way. And also,
here, I'm gonna throw a question on the screen after you
do it.
All right, no,
go ahead.
I think this was meant for Scale and Bell, but it came to us, so we're gonna let Zoe answer it because she's the one with the busted hip. All right, Zoe. Thoughts on having a scale every workout in the gym. Sometimes it feels like you will never progress to the next level.
Legit question.
That's a great question. Thank you, Sarah Cooper.
That's a good
Thank you.
question. As someone who has dealt with an injury for so long and had to scale a bunch of workouts, it is very hard at first because it's kind of like a hit to the pride, like you want to do RX and you want to push yourself, but you just know that you can't. And in the end, like it's just you come to a point of acceptance and you're there to move your body, you're there to just get a workout in. So in the end, like you're still moving. You're still moving and grooving. Like doesn't matter that it's scaled. Doesn't
Love
matter.
it.
You showed up.
Look how nice Sarah Cooper looks here.
She
Get
looks
their little
really
photos.
lovely
Isn't this
in
nice?
that photo.
New
I
tech.
I would also like to add that I think if you need to scale often and you're at the same time looking to progress to the next level, I think that setting reasonable goals
Mm-hmm.
is part of what can really help you try to, I don't know, mitigate those feelings that you were talking about, like when you're too competitive or you feel, like one where your ego takes a hit. Like, what are your goals? If you're scaling your pull-ups to ring rows, like what if your next attainable goal was just like 20 unbroken ring rows instead of being like, ah, damn it, I'm always scaling down to whatever. And I feel like that is one way to make it feel like you are progressing to the next level. But the next level is in quotes and it's yours. It's custom. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's my coaching
agree with
advice.
Yeah.
I'm going to say two things. Number one, if you want tips on scaling, join Ben and I on Scaling Bell.
Yes,
Shameless
for sure.
plug. We're gonna start live streaming that show too, starting next
Cool.
week on a regular basis, and take questions about scaling. But the one thing I would say, because Ben and I have talked about this for 30 episodes now already, I don't worry so much about scaling every workout. It's really like what progress is coming from that, and the way to track, you have to track every workout to figure it out. So if you're going to scale, which, like I scale virtually everything I do, but I also track everything I do. So I can look back and say, all right, well, where was I a month ago? Where was I a month before that? What are the benchmark workouts that I've scaled? And when I'm redoing them at the same scale, have I gotten better? It's more about intensity than the weight. Like I think often we look at these RX athletes and go, well, the RX is 135 or whatever. And if I'm not doing that, I'm a failure. And that isn't the case.
No.
It's like whatever you're capable of, are you improving 3, 4, 6 months from now? And the only way you'll know that is if you meticulously track. And it takes a little work, it does. Like I keep a journal. I'll tell you what works for me. It's the easiest thing ever. I have a whiteboard in my home gym. I write my workouts on it and I snap a photo. And that's it. And I can go back because then I remember, I did that a few months ago, and I just swing back through my photos. And you'll go through them and you'll have some regret as you're looking at old photos, but you'll find the wad eventually, and you'll go, all right, well, did I get better or did I not get better? And for me, that's the key, is like you're only chasing yourself. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. So look how much fun these little questions are.
I love it. So good.
Love it. Somebody else said you need snacks, Nikki, for your kid.
For the kid when we travel, and
Snack.
also for Matt, so he doesn't
Matt needs
start
snacks.
bitching on the
He
plane.
just
Matt
needs snacks in
definitely needs
general.
snacks.
Yeah.
True. I will pack all the snacks for all the people. Come
I'm
find
saying
me in
bourbon.
Tennessee. I'll have
Bourbon.
snacks.
Yeah, I will have snacks. Yeah.
I will have snacks. I'll have them with me, for me and for the boys.
All right. So Zoe, you going to join us for movie reviews?
I mean, if I'm
Let's do it.
invited.
You're invited?
Let's go.
Yeah.
You know Danny? Have you ever met Danny?
I've never met Danny, no.
We're going to talk about feet. There's a lot of, there's so many people that love her feet. We always talk about foot fetishes when Danny's on.
I get so many comments about, I get so many DMs about my feet. I don't I don't understand.
Do you? You don't even post like Danny actually posts photos of her feet. So I don't, how do you get them? Like, you don't even do that.
I don't.
People just want the feet. They will come into the comments.
Yeah, so it's usually around summertime where if I'm wearing sandals, if I'm walking in the sand, just little glimpses of my feet, and then I get a couple comments coming in.
I got to be honest. I'm starting to feel like I'm not normal because I don't have this kink. Is that bad? Like I hear about so many people that have it. I'm like, maybe I'm the weird one.
Or it just needs to be a little bit more socially acceptable to have it?
I don't know. It's
I
so
don't know.
weird to me.
No, look,
I
don't get
don't
it.
I'm
know.
just gonna say this. It's kind of like the gym thing. I'm gonna bring it way full circle to the beginning of the show. It's like if you have a thing for feet and you want to just say the thing or shoot your shot respectfully, like that's cool. But like
Yeah.
the being creepy about feet is where I
Yes.
draw the line.
Yes.
If you just want to be like, I like your foot, I'd be like, cool, that's fine. I like your face. Fine. I'm a
Gym
face
bro to
person.
gym bro, your feet look great.
Gym bro
Is
to
that
gym
how
bro,
this
your
gym bro to
feet
goes
look
gym
on?
great.
bro.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm a
No.
face person, you're a foot person. Like that does not bother me. But when you're like creepy in the DMs and you're like with Danny, people are always like, oh, Venmo you $500 if you like mash shaving cream with your toes and send me a video. Like that's where I draw the line where I'm like, that is
Right.
But
no.
that's where I would be like, okay, like 500.
Well, there's that too. But
Yeah.
yeah, no. And every time I do get a comment like that, Matt's always like, "Why are you not out here making us money? Let's go."
All right. Before we wrap up, Nikki, tell Zoe about your shoe sale
Oh
story.
no!
This is my favorite.
That
This
one
is my
time
favorite.
I got conned into sending foot photos online once. Okay, so here's what happened.
So okay, I already
Here we go.
know where this is going. Okay.
Okay, this was years ago for the record, and I was younger and more naive. Hang on, I'm gonna get them. Don't move. This is what I was selling.
Oh my God.
No wait.
I do not understand. I swear I do not understand. This whole toast.
Look, they're dusty.
Oh,
they're
there's
dusty
Toe
because they've
spaces.
been
I
sitting in my
just bought a
closet.
pair off of Amazon, and I'm gonna try to start wearing them.
Oh, all
I
right.
don't know if
We
they're
got
gonna
one
do
for
me,
Matt
but
for
I'm gonna try.
Christmas.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
try.
So they're dusty because they're still in my closet because I never end up. So I have these really beautiful Dior heels, right? They're really stunning.
Those
Yeah.
are
But I haven't.
stunning.
Those
Thank
are.
you.
Stunning.
Yeah.
I have not worn them in a long time. And so I was like, oh, I should sell them because someone else could enjoy them because I just like
Yeah.
don't really wear them. They're really comfortable as designer heels oftentimes aren't. And I like put them on Poshmark and they weren't moving. And I think I put them also on Craigslist because then I could just make a local sale and I wouldn't
Yeah.
have to like mail them.
Yeah.
And then someone responded and they were like, okay, I'm going to fuck this up. They were like, okay, what size are they? I want to buy them for my wife. But she was pretending this person was a lady buying them for her
Okay.
wife. And I was
Okay.
like, oh, like I'm in size 8 and they fit me perfectly. And she was like, can you send me a picture of your foot in them because my wife has really narrow feet and I'm afraid that they're gonna like her toes are gonna like fall off the side of the front or not or whatever. And I was like, yeah, totally. So I did. So I then sent them a photo of my foot in the shoe. And then it was like radio silence. And I was like, hey, like, do you still want the shoes? And then this person was like, I have to come clean. I'm just a guy who I really like pictures of feet. And I was like, what? Like, I'm not sent you like,
Yeah.
are you gonna buy the shoes? No, clearly not. They're still in my closet. But this person was like, look, I swear to God, he was like, yeah, look, I gotta come clean. Like, I just really wanted pictures of your feet. I'm not interested in the shoes, nor am I a lady, nor am I married to another lady. I was like, oh my God. And then I had to tell my husband that I had just sent my foot photos to a stranger online via email that found me on Craigslist. Matt was like, why did you not consult me before this happened? Because I would have totally flagged that this was not kosher what's happening.
To be honest, I probably would have done the same thing, especially if the request was coming from someone that like was saying that they were a woman. I would have been like, yeah, I'll help a girl out. Like, I'll show you
Totally.
if my foot's wide or not. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
like anything to help that
absolutely.
sale.
Help a girl out.
Absolutely.
I would have
And
done
then
the same thing.
And then Matt like did like deep research on like foot photo things, and he was like, "Did you know that it's like a very specific part of the fetish? If like toes like hang off the side of the shoe, people are like, yeah, that's like a good toe hanging off the side." And I was like, "Oh my God, that's probably what he wanted to see."
Oh my God.
I can't. And not to kink shame, like if you're into feet, that's
No,
totally fine. But
no.
I was deceived.
You
That
were
was not
deceived.
fair.
I would have probably fallen for that too. Like I would have, yeah, I would have to. Yeah.
I don't know why these stories are so funny to me, but they just crack me up. Like
I
the every
still
level.
have And if anyone is interested in these beautiful heels,
You will not be modeling them on your foot, but you still
not be
have
modeling them on my foot. Right.
Or will she? For the right amount of money, maybe.
I mean, at this point, actually, I don't care who has pictures
You're
of
like,
my
man,
feet.
Hunter,
If you want to
gotta go
Venmo
for a
me,
little extra, I'll throw in
Yeah.
a picture too.
not that much extra, actually. At this point, that's fine. I'll make money off my feet all day.
Look,
That doesn't bother me.
Flying first class down to Tennessee. You and Hunter and Matt, it'd be great. Then you
Let's
won't need
go.
a mask. You guys would just be rolling large.
Let's
Be
go.
awesome.
I will drink mimosas that whole flight.
Perfect.
Come on.
Perfect. Well, Zoe, this is fun. Thanks for helping us break in the live stream.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I think it's good. We'll send you an invite. The Danny episode's Thursday. It's coming up.
Yeah.
What time on Thursday?
I want to say 8 p.m.
Yeah.
So
She-
same time?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
in California too. She's in San Diego.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll
We
do,
usually do after post baby bedtime.
Yeah. So
Okay.
pick a movie. We'll let you pick one to review. Danny's gonna pick one. Danny apparently has some movie pass that she sees everything ever filmed.
Oh, I know what yeah.
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 So we're gonna she's gonna pick some, but we're absolutely talking about some Harry Potter. It's gonna be fun. Very
Yeah.
excited. So
Perfect. Cool. I'm excited. I'd love to
All
join.
all right, perfect. We'll send you an invite. Well, Nikki, this has been fun. Our first time.
I loved it. Let's do
Yeah.
it all the time.
I
And
like-
there's less for you to edit.
It's absolutely less to edit, and we get the questions on the end. This is my new favorite one. If you drink some Thirdsy after listening to this story, you're in for some weird dreams. That's absolutely true. There's also a
This episode brought to you by Thirdsy.
yeah, it's not
What
even
is
sponsored by Thirdsy, but we have a
What's
code for them in
Thirdsy?
my bio if you want to.
What's
jump here.
Thirdsy?
Yeah. Oh, you haven't had Thirdsy? I'll get you some.
What is it?
It's a sleep supplement. It's so good.
Oh, okay.
So good.
Okay. Okay.
I ran into the Justine, who's the owner, was on Scale and Bill. She's a friend of Ben's. And so she sponsored some episodes of this, and we're currently doing a sponsorship for Scale and Bill. But she sends me product, and like, look, I don't take any sponsorships for what I don't use. This stuff will knock you the F out. It is so good. But you don't wake up like all drowsy and hungover.
That's good. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It's so good. So I'll get you a bag.
Yeah.
You'll love it.
Yeah,
Cool,
it's awesome.
cool.
All right. Well, it's been fun, ladies. I appreciate it. For everyone listening, thanks for joining our live stream or watching. And for those of you listening, we appreciate you guys joining as well. And we'll be back in just a couple of days with Danny Spiegel's movie reviews. I'm beside myself. I just can't wait.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome.